Here's what's been happening lately. 3 things. First, Mayor Brandon Johnson's renter protection proposal faces fierce resistance from building owners. Next, the mayor's financial task force is proposing downtown congestion fees, service taxes, and restructuring electricity taxes. And lastly, Chicago's pension debt increased in 2025 by $36.4 billion. Let's break it all down. First, Mayor Brandon Johnson introduced his Protecting Renters Ordinance, and the Housing Committee, chaired by one of his closest city council allies, progressive firebrand Alderman Byron Lopez, held its first public hearing on the matter. Landlords showed up in force to protest an ordinance that would ban move-in fees and other junk fees without a documented cost, or offer legal representation for income-eligible tenants, and require landlords to provide a $5,000 payment or 5 months' rent, whichever is less, to tenants evicted or not renewed without just cause. Another point of contention is the proposed annual registration fee of $20 per unit to generate $20 million a year for inspections, attorneys, and other enforcement costs. That fee is part of a provision within the ordinance that would establish a rental registry to log who owns the city's more than 500,000 rental units and whether those landlords are complying with the law. That measure was included in Johnson's proposal in reaction to a WBEZ Chicago Sun-Times story about how landlords often set up limited liability companies to mask who they are, creating an anonymity that makes it hard to hold problem landlords accountable. The mayor's original version would have required $10,000 in compensation to tenants who chose to move out to avoid unconscionable rent increases. But that provision has been removed amid complaints that it could be a dangerous first step toward rent control, which would require a change in state law. A proposal that building owners provide interest on security deposits have also been dropped. Next, a follow-up report commissioned by Mayor Brandon Johnson lays out an array of revenue-generating options that includes a sales tax on virtually all consumer services, taxing high-volume electricity users at a higher rate, and imposing a congestion fee on vehicles entering or exiting a designated central area during peak hours. To chip away at Chicago's $36 billion pension crisis and erase the city's structural deficit, the 23-member group of civic leaders is also suggesting offering retirees lump sum payments in lieu of monthly pension checks, consolidating actuaries and administrators of the 4 city employee pension funds, and restoring the automatic escalator lock-in and annual property tax increases at the rate of inflation. For years, the city has used temporary resources and short-term operating actions to balance its budgets. They include hiring freezes, deferred investments, the nearly $1.9 billion in avalanche of federal pandemic relief funds, and the $1 billion tax increment financing surplus that Johnson declared last year to bail out the Chicago public schools and bankroll a new teacher's contract. In addition to pension consolidation and offering a lump sum payment option, the report recommends that the city prioritize the pension advance initiated by former Mayor Lori Lightfoot and continue it until it's no longer necessary. Lastly, Chicago's pension debt rose by approximately $500 million in 2025, according to the city's audited annual financial report, with the amount the city owes to its 4 pension funds hitting $36.4 billion. In all, Chicago owed 1.4% more to its 4 employee pension funds, representing police officers, firefighters, municipal employees, and laborers at the end of 2025 than it did at the end of 2024, according to the Chicago's 2025 annual comprehensive financial report. Chicago's pension debt has grown by nearly 11% since 2020, adding approximately $3.5 billion to the city's debt, records show. Even as the city's overall pension debt increased between 2024 and 2025, the assets held by all 4 pension funds increased, mitigating the city's overall pension crisis. The fund designed to pay pensions to Chicago's police officers is just 25.5% funded, while the fund that pays the pensions of the city's firefighters is 25.2% funded, according to the city's annual financial report. The laborers fund has the highest funded level at 44.1%, while the fund that pays pensions to municipal workers is 28.2% funded, according to the report. By comparison, public pension funds in other large cities have average funding levels of about 70%. Now, the city faces a record-setting $3 billion pension bill in 2027, according to city records, in order to comply with the state law that requires two of Chicago's funds be funded at a 90% level by 2055 and the other two by 2058, ensuring they can pay benefits to employees as they retire, according to an estimate from August 2025.